Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody can hear my voice and see the presentation on the screen. Okay. So, beginning of this week, we had a simple general full length test sent to you on WhatsApp, and you had the entire week to give this 120-minute, that is 2 hour long, 130 marks test with included negative marking. How was the test? I hope everybody has attempted it. So, how did it go? How did you fare in it? Easiest test, Zana says. Excellent. Maths and reasoning very easy, better than last time. Okay, that's good. That's good. Not lengthy, comfortably finished. Quite good except GK. Okay, GK is always a bugbear. Fine. So other three sections were relatively easy, it seems. Good. Let's see how much we could have scored, right? As usual, we'll start with looking at the test in general and then each of the individual sections, and we'll take up doubts when required. Hopefully, if this is easy, then it shouldn't take much time. We should be able to wrap this up today. So, as usual, whenever we start a test, we look at all the instructions first. We read all the instructions. 40 marks for English, 30 each for math, reasoning, and GK. Okay. So I'll just first go through the paper to see how it looks. Starting with English, there's a passage of 7 questions, then a couple of meanings. Okay, so 10 questions overall. Okay, 11 to 15 idioms and phrases. Fine. Errors, 5 questions. Okay, fill in the blanks. Okay, again usage of words, appropriateness. Fine. Jumbled passages. Okay, and fill in the blanks. Okay, English seems pretty simple. Maths, all standard 1 point questions. Oh, we come across a data interpretation set, bar graph, and there is a table base. Okay, so 2 data interpretation sets, fair enough. And then reasoning, relations, odd man out, coding, decoding, analogies, number series, directions, cubes and cuboids, puzzle. That's it. Oh, no verbal reasoning this time. So analytical reasoning seems easy, right? And of course the GK section. So as usual, I will not be discussing the GK questions. There's nothing except right or wrong. I'll send you the answers at the end. So we will assume that 30 questions of GK in about 10 to 12 minutes we would have solved it, right? So my first assumption is that 30 questions of GK, we would have taken some 10 to 12 minutes to solve it, and at least 15 of them we should have got right. Although I have not seen, I'm just guessing here. So the GK, when I send the score, when I send the answer key at the end of session today, you will be able to find out the score. Baki, the remaining sections, let's see. Can we ever be fully prepared for CNGK? Devesh, for so many years I have been giving tests and preparing students. And even today I will not say I'm 100% prepared. If any student says they are 100% prepared for GK and current affairs, either they are lying or they are overconfident, right? I'm sure even Parth sir would never admit that he is fully prepared because it's an ongoing process. Current affairs never ends. Daily says something new, right? You can only keep on revising and hope for the best. You can never say you are fully prepared for GK. In fact, you should not say that you are fully prepared for GK because that is impossible. There's no person in the world who can be fully prepared because it keeps on increasing and changing. Anyway, so we start with the English section, and the RC doesn't seem very difficult, right? It seems like some sort of descriptive essay, right? Some incident, first person narrative. So did anybody have a problem in understanding the passage? Did everybody have a problem in understanding the passage? No. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the answers for the questions, right? 1 to 7 directly from the passage, and the remaining 8, 9, 10 also, I believe, were questions related to words in the passage. So 1 to 10, I'm going to give you the answers, and if there is a particular question which needs discussion, then we will go ahead and discuss it, else we'll quickly move ahead. So for 1 to 10, these are the 10. Any doubts in these? The third one, okay. What could be a possible source of this passage? Okay, what could be a possible source of this passage? So I'll have to read the passage to identify the source. Okay, chalo, let's read it. A slab. Okay, I've skimmed through the passage. Now, what could be the source of this passage? The passage is definitely not a movie review column, right? It is not a movie review column because it's not talking about a specific movie, it's rather talking about a process. So it is also not from a book 100 movies to watch before you die, right? So either it could be a blog post or it could be an article from a journal. Now, a blog post would not have so many details. In fact, if you read blogs, nowadays blogs are very short in length, right? And they're rather informal. But the language used in this passage is rather formal, it's rather descriptive. So between B and C, the bet would be on that it is an article from a journal on politics and culture, right? It's definitely not A or D. Between B and C, from the descriptive nature of the given passage, it seems more likely to be part from a journal, which was how people used to write before. Nowadays, blogs are written because people don't have much time. So blogs are generally short and to the point. They are not very descriptive. And hence, C is the best option for the third one, right? Politics, see, what is the passage talking about? The passage is not talking about a movie. It is talking about Satyajit Ray, right? It is talking about Bengal literature and other things. So when you're talking about literature is a part of culture, right? It's talking about the Bengali culture, right? Bengali literature and culture. When it's talking about Satyajit Ray, when it is talking about Feluda, when it's talking about Byomkesh Bakshi, all these things, right, are all part of culture, Bengali culture. So that's why we get it as a culture. It's not a movie review. It's not talking about one particular movie. It's talking about things in general. So it's more about the cultural description. Okay? Okay. So 4th, 5th, 7th and 8th. Okay? Let's do that. 4th, 5th, 7th and 8th. What is the central theme of the passage? The central theme of the passage, does not focus on just Rituparno Ghosh's directorial things, does it? It does not focus on only Rituparno Ghosh and his directorial quirks. And it is not very general about the beauty of Bengali cinema or a complaint about the actor. So it is how Ghosh's Satyam Veshi differs from any other Byomkesh Bakshi film in the 4th one. Param. 4th one it is not about the beauty of Bengali cinema, right? If you read the passage in detail, it first talks about Byomkesh. It introduces, right? It introduces a lot of things. Then he says, in May this year, I was in Calcutta on the set of Rituparno Ghosh's Satyam Veshi, his adaptation of Banerjee's Chorabali, right? And blah, 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 blah. So he's talking about this hand-holding of actors and other things. Then Byomkesh Bakshi's description is given, right? So there is actually a comparison between the two. So in the 4th one, it is about the differences between Satyam Veshi, how Rituparno Ghosh treats it, and how Byomkesh Bakshi was different, right? So hence got the fourth one. It is not about the beauty of Bengali cinema. It's very specifically, it starts with things in general, but then it focuses between these two things. Right. Fifth one. What is the meaning of opulence? Opulence is something which is very rich, something which is very royal, something which is very majestic, and hence splendor. When we say Bahubali was an opulent movie, it's a very rich movie. The sets of Bahubali were very opulent. Opulent literally means rich or something which is royal, regal, great. So a fifth definitely splendor, right? Fifth, Arushi, is literally vocabulary. Okay. Sixth one, which of the following can be inferred from the information given? Now, whether Ghosh's Byomkesh Bakshi adaptation is going to be the best, we don't know. But there will continue to be several adaptations despite so many good ones, yes. Byomkesh popularity will outstrip Feluda, no. Many cinematic detectives will be made into books, no. See, the only thing they're saying is that Byomkesh Bakshi abhi tak banta aaya hai और बनता आएगा. That is the only reasonable conclusion, that lot of Byomkesh Bakshi adaptations have taken place, but it is not the end. It will still keep on happening in the future. Whether Ghosh's adaptation is going to be the best, we don't know. Whether it will outstrip Feluda, we don't know. And in general, whether cinematic detectives will be made into books, no. The only reasonable interpretation we get is that the sixth one has to be B. Do you get that? Whoever asked for the sixth one, Sanskriti. You have to read the passage once again, right? Read it a couple of times. You'll get a sense of it. Now, seventh, what is the tone of this passage? Right? He's giving a lot of examples. He's not talking about the past. He's not talking about his own personal experiences all the time. So it's not reflective. He is not finding out good and bad about things. Rather, he's telling about story. When I was there in the set, this happened. In the past, this has happened, right? He's just telling you a story. So it's a narrative. Seventh one is a narrative. Seventh one is definitely a narrative. He's just telling you a story, right? He's not analyzing anything. He's not doing anything. Examples of other tones. Well, see, last year when a lot of students used to ask me questions, it used to take me a lot of time. Last year I remember there was a student who used to ask me questions which are similar, and I used to answer those questions. Now, do you understand what I'm doing? This is reflective. When I'm just thinking about what happened in the past and trying to analyze it, that is reflective, right? Reflective is I'm thinking about what happened in the past and dwelling upon it. Analytical is when I'm trying to do analytical, critical, both of them will have things like assumptions. It will have things like conclusions, arguments, right? All those verbal reasoning points which we keep on doing, right? Anything which contains a lot of arguments, assumptions, conclusions, those will be analytical or critical. Critical will have more opinion based things. Analytical will have more evidence based things, trying to prove a point. And narrative is this one. Did you get that, Aditya? Right? So narrative will be a story like this. They're describing things. Analytical based on evidence, trying to prove something. Critical based on logic, based on verbal reasoning, try to prove something. And reflective is just thinking about what happened with self in the past. Right. Eighth one. Exquisite. Exquisite is something which is very ekdam superb. The Mona Lisa is an exquisite example of art. Right. So exquisite is something which is wonderful. Right. This is the Bharatnatyam is an exquisite dance. So it's a wonderful dance. So eighth one is D. Ninth. Snare, किसी को फसाना is to snare, ensnare somebody. A snare is a trap, pure vocabulary. And 10th, desert with a single S. Desert is Marusthal. Desert means जहाँ पे camels होते हैं, जहाँ sand होता है. To desert somebody also means to leave somebody. किसी को छोड़ देना, त्याग देना, means to abandon somebody. So 8, 9, 10, 10th, they are all pure vocabulary based questions. Did everybody get these ones? 8th, 9th, and 10th. Right? So at least 6 or 7 easily you could have got in this particular passage. Not very difficult. Chalo. 11 to 15. I'll put up the answers. Then if any explanation required, we'll do that. So 11 to 15. Any doubts in these 5? 11 to 15. 11th one. Okay. So let's first read the instructions. Instructions are: an idiomatic expression or proverb is highlighted. Select which describes the use. Okay. The course of events made it necessary for Joseph to start working. If something made it necessary for Joseph to start working, made it necessary, that means it was not expected. So it cannot be events that were planned. It cannot be list for future events, right? And it cannot be the nature of events. But if it were unexpected events, they were not expected, then because they were not expected, it suddenly becomes necessary for somebody to start working. So 11th one, definitely C. 11th one, but logically it has to be C. If you already expect it, then it won't be necessary for you to start working, right? You will already be working. But if you did not expect it, then suddenly it becomes necessary for you to do the work. And hence C is my best option there. Course of events, right? See, here the instructions clearly say you have to decide the meaning as used in the sentence, right? Select the alternative which best describes the use in the sentence. Now, in the sentence, the sense in which it has been used. If it is a list of future events, why does it become necessary for Joseph to start working? Right? कोई भी चीज urgent कब हो जाती है? When it is unplanned for, when it is unexpected, and then suddenly it comes. So it becomes necessary. If it is something for the future, why is it necessary for Joseph to do it now? Right? Okay. 13th one. Mrs. Nayak opened the discussion on the alarming rate of poverty. Opened the discussion literally means started the